Sir, welcome to MYCAS podcast series, The Tea That Matters.
Thank you.
And for the first time, the man behind the camera is in front of the camera. How's your feeling?
I'm tensed.
We can see that on your face. Right. Anyway, first of all, hearty congratulations.
Thank you.
As a team and as a college, we have completed 3 years of the specialized program, and we'll be going to the 4th year. And a lot of students who are in the 3rd year are opting for the 4th year and completing their honors program. So a good chunk of credit should go to teachers like you who have made this course a grand success.
My pleasure.
Why do you consider this as pleasure?
Undoubtedly, the syllabus.
Okay.
Because here, straight from the designing of the syllabus, I have been involved in this course.
True.
So when Harshita called me way back in 2021, that's when I realized MYCAS is doing something like this. Something which I don't know if any other college had done this in Mysore earlier. So otherwise we had already the set prescribed syllabus of University of Mysore for BCom, BBA, whatever, whichever course we were doing. So then I realized like we have the freedom to pick and choose the topics which we want, the subjects which we want. In fact, I have had multiple fights with Harshita while designing this course. Like she was going for one particular topic, under one particular subject. I was like, no, this is relevant, this is not relevant. So we had our share of discussions, and the outcome, I'm more than happy with the outcome of those discussions. That is with accountancy. Likewise, we have, I don't know how many subjects across all the 4 years. So I could imagine the amount of work which MYCA had put in to design the syllabus. When in fact you talked to me about this course and invited me to teach, I was more than happy in fact. Because I knew the syllabus, it was exciting, and it was like combination of all these professional course syllabus which I was anyway teaching. Like the kind of topics which we have are of CA Inter or CA Final sometimes, CS Inter, CS Professional level topics. It's not commonplace for colleges, at least in Mysore, to think of such courses because everyone is scared of the risks associated with it. Because if you ask any other college in Mysore, they would probably not venture to create a specialized course of this caliber, mostly because they know that it is first of all difficult to teach, and second of all they may not be sure that students will take it up. Thankfully for MYCA, it has succeeded in both. So that is what makes me happy to come back to MYCA and teach again and again.
I know what is the answer that you would give to this question, but still, I will ask this.
Okay.
Going back to those days where you had just completed your second PUC and you had the option of taking up this course, right? Would you have taken it up?
Without a doubt.
Right. What makes you feel that you would have studied this program?
I was very sure that I would do CA, though I didn't. So that's a different thing. If I had to take up CA, and if already there was a course which had similar subjects, similar topics, why wouldn't I do that?
See, when we talk about this, the immediate question that triggers in one's mind is financial management course which is offered at MYCAS, that is BCom Honors Financial Management. This should be a very difficult program. Is it so? Is it real?
No, I wouldn't agree.
See, on one side you are telling this syllabus is at par with the professional courses like CA and CS.
Correct.
But when I ask you the difficulty level, you are telling it is not difficult.
True, it is not difficult.
How does it work?
Because students are spoiled at the PU level. At PU level, you are so used to being asked only those questions which are from the prepared question bank. So most colleges follow the same pattern, where you already have some 10-15 questions for every topic. You solve those questions, you will definitely get more than 90-95. Yes. All you have to do is just cover the syllabus. Make sure that you study whatever is taught in that day's class during that day itself so that you will remember.
Okay.
So if only a student can do this, I don't see why anyone should feel difficult.
Going through the syllabus, attending classes, gaining conceptual clarity is more than enough to be a success story in FM program.
Definitely.
It is not a difficult program.
It is not at all a difficult program. It is difficult only in comparison with the level of spoon feeding which has been done at PU level. That's why they find it difficult. So it's not the students' fault either. But when you look at the CBSE students, or ICSE students, then you will realize. So for them, it's not the case like where they already have a question bank and they have to answer only those questions. So they are used to it. So they don't find it difficult. It's on, and even if a student, let's assume for a second that the student is finding it very difficult. For how long? Maybe for the first sem or maybe for the second. That is, maybe in the first year at best, they may find it difficult. But after that, they will get used to it.
Correct. So you mean to say they will graduate to a higher level.
Exactly.
And once they graduate to the higher level, the entire program becomes easy for them, or they get into that groove.
Exactly. It may not become easy, but they will be used to it then.
Correct. So their strength will increase and they start delivering.
Yes, of course. So it's we who have actually reduced their strength. So now at MYCA we are trying to.
I remember our first principal often telling this. She used to tell, children are born strong, they are brought up wrong.
Yeah, of course.
So the first few years of our education system make students to prepare only from the examination point of view.
Exactly.
And this prepares them for the exam, but not for life. So what you're trying to tell is FM program not only prepares students for the exam, but it actually prepares them for life.
Correct.
Makes them strong.
Truly. Because when they sit in the exam hall, they really don't know what to expect.
Correct.
They may think that maybe this topic will, this question will come from this particular topic. That is never the case. So you can't just skip topics also here. Life is like that, no? Life is uncertain.
Yes.
And life is unfair also sometimes. Whereas in PUC or maybe other courses, you already know what is that you will get for this part A, part B, part C. Here, you can never expect such thing. That, in fact, I would say, will help them in the long run.
Correct.
Because they are already prepared for the life by preparing for the exams.
True.
Maybe I'm exaggerating, but still I believe. So we are helping them prepare for their life.
Right. Are there any takeaways from this program that you have got at personal level?
Takeaways? Okay. I will compare it with what I do elsewhere. For example, I mostly teach for CA and CS courses. There what happens, the students come to the class and whatever is taught, they write down, they practice those problems and they go back home. That's all. Very rarely do we have any kind of interaction beyond what is taught there. Even sometimes that also doesn't happen because most of them are not very forthcoming. Whereas here, that hasn't been the case. I have learnt a lot from the students. I have learnt a lot from the syllabus also because for the first time I was teaching FM, that is financial management or financial decisions in a classroom. Of course, I had taught this elsewhere earlier online, but in a classroom environment, I was teaching these two subjects for the first time. So it gave me the confidence that I could also teach these two subjects, even though my favorite topics are like accounts or law. Then I realized, why not? So when I started teaching, I felt in fact confident, and the credit should largely go to the students. Because if they were not interactive in the class, maybe I would have felt it's a very difficult subject to teach. So thankfully, so we had such bright students, and not bright I would say, but at least interactive students, that it made my job easier. So I would say students play a very big role when it comes to a teacher succeeding or not succeeding in a particular subject.
I remember one statement by the great tabla player Zakir Hussain. He says, teachers don't teach. It's the students who learn.
Yeah, exactly.
So the quality of the students, the kind of interaction that actually happens in the class, the kind of questions that students pose to a teacher actually defines the quality of the class.
Without a doubt.
Most of the time, it's a wrong perception that it's the teacher who's driving the class. It's actually not.
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually the student's interest level which drives the class. So are you trying to tell that the interest level of these students on any given day is on the little higher side, and that drives the teacher to go back with more inputs and interest?
Little would be an understatement.
Okay.
So it's definitely on the higher side.
Right.
Because I hardly get to interact in other classes. There is no interaction happening at all. I just deliver a lecture there.
Correct.
Whereas here I don't deliver any lecture. It's mostly interaction. So I talk, they ask questions, I clarify, I try to clarify at least. So without that, it's very difficult to enjoy any session.
This is a very common question that is asked to a candidate who's attending an interview. I'll ask this question to you. Where do you see these students in next 5 years?
Where do I see them? I don't know, frankly, but what I can say is, for sure, whichever area they choose to be in the next 5 years, I'm sure they will do better than other students.
Why is it so?
One, they're not, what can I say, shy, or they're not held back by any kind of apprehensions when interacting with the teacher or anyone else or even their peers. This I don't see elsewhere. They're usually hesitant. So in fact, just yesterday I realized someone was hesitant to call me just to check, confirm whether I would be taking the class or not. Not here at MYCA, but somewhere else. But whereas a MYCA student would never do that. They would be free to call me and ask or confirm whatever it is. So that kind of communication I have not seen elsewhere. That confidence in communicating with the teachers or peers or anyone as such. So that alone, I would say, would place them above the other students.
Okay.
The rest is of course left to them, and based on their individual interests, I'm sure they will succeed. So I have no doubts about that. I also had a question, if you don't mind. Why did you even think of starting this? You already had a successful set programs, BCom, BBA and whatnot. Then why did you even think of venturing into something which people may refer to as risky?
It is definitely risky, right? Financially, considering the brand image. It was not my idea. This is something which, as a college, we were discussing. The management was very keen on doing something different.
Okay.
And when we were actually planning, Corona hit and it got delayed a little. But our then principal, late Miss Punama MN, she was determined that we should do something which is very different from other things. There were a lot of reasons. Number one, we kept on seeing the gap that is there between the academia and the industry. How do we plug in that? That was one of the reasons. Second is, a lot of our own PUC kids who are doing extremely well at the PUC level were going out of our city, not just our college, but out of the city in search of courses which are different. They wanted courses which provided them with specialization. So how do you keep such students interested? That was another thing that was there in our mind. When credits and marks are not attached to any training program, the reception is not great. Students want a lot of things, but it should reflect in their marks card. But what happens when you give something as an add-on, when it is not reflecting on the marks card, only the interested lot will come and a lot of them wouldn't. So bringing all this experience, the skill development that we used to do and the classes that we used to conduct and the response that we used to get, we wanted to integrate this, pack this in the form of a course and give it to the students. And these were the reasons which led to the creation of BCom Honors Financial Management. I'm very happy today, more than 75 students are studying this program and a new batch is coming in. The response is great. And I feel very happy that all that we discussed, debated, argued, planned has been executed well, of course, with the support of the management, the teaching staff, definitely the university. We are able to do this. So that is how this program came into existence.
Did university always have this option, or was it a new thing?
University is providing specialization programs, and we are one of the few colleges in the whole Mysore city who have taken a program like this, affiliated ourselves with University of Mysore, signed an MOU and delivering this program.
So that means the degree is awarded by the University of Mysore.
See, the syllabus that we set should be approved by the University of Mysore.
Correct.
We cannot execute it on our own.
Correct.
University will have the say in deciding the BOIs. They give the guidelines.
That is the Board of Studies.
The Board of Studies. So the guidelines for creating BOIs is given by the University of Mysore. A senior professor is deputed as the chairman of BOIs.
Okay.
So for our program, it is Professor Nagaraj, who is the chairman of the Board of Studies. Then the university decides the Board of Evaluation, Board of Examination. So these are the two important governing bodies of the program, and both are regulated by university. Although we set the syllabus, it is scrutinized and approved by University of Mysore. Examination is conducted by University of Mysore. The marks card and the degree is awarded by University of Mysore. So it is not a completely autonomous program in my view. We are semi-autonomous.
Correct.
What is it that we do? We have the freedom to decide the syllabus, decide the topic, decide the calendar of events, and execute the program. But all other rights still lies with the University of Mysore. We are governed by them. So that's how the whole program runs.
Okay. Now it's been 3 years since you started this. What would you say are the challenges which you faced while running this course for the past 3 years?
See, one is the awareness. So when we talk about an autonomous program like this, or when we talk about a BCom program, helping you to specialize in a particular area, the awareness is on the lower side. That apprehension is there. So that is the biggest challenge that we have. And what happens is, this program demands certain level of seriousness from the students also.
True.
See, you are a company secretary, you come and teach. We have a chartered accountant who comes and teach. We have other chartered accountants and advocates who come and teach. So these are professionally qualified and practicing people. So for a student to sit and listen to them, they would definitely require some sort of seriousness. It's not that they can come late or bunk the class. Those things don't happen. So that level of seriousness and involvement is required. If a student has made up his mind that my college life should be cool,
Then this course is not for that.
I am here to learn. I am here to build a career. I want to be successful. I want to do something which is very different from a lot of others. Then for them, this is the program. So the moment we talk about such things, they start feeling, am I really getting into a thing where it becomes very difficult? To be very honest, it is not.
It's not.
It's really not. It's actually fun. Right? So, but these are the challenges that we see. This is the mind block that's there in the mind. Oh, a chartered accountant will come and teach. I think in their terms, he's very kadus. It's not the case. To be very honest, the coolest people to learn from are actually the chartered accountants and the company secretaries. Because they would have gone through a very rigorous course and they know where to let it loose and where to tighten it. So that challenge is always there. Even to this day, it is there. But it's all part of the game.
One thing which I have noticed while teaching for BCom FM is that you have a wide range of students.
True.
See, in my class, we have someone who has passed one group of CS Intermediate Executive. Then there are a couple of students who have passed CMA Foundation. Then there is a guy who has already cleared CA Foundation and appearing for CA Inter. And there are others who attend all these fests.
Correct.
And there are people who want to be entrepreneurs as soon as they are done with the course. And there are others who are excelling in sports. How did you find all these people and put them in a single classroom?
See, the diversity is something which we cannot build.
Correct.
If you ask me, diversity exists. There is somebody who is interested in professional courses like CA, CS, CMA.
Correct.
There is somebody who is interested to go out and participate in fests, win prizes and come.
Correct.
There is somebody who is interested to know more about startups. There is somebody who is interested in research. There is somebody interested in sports. So this is already there. As a college, we have been very, very conscious about this. So what we do is, we nurture those ideas and strengths of the students. So then what happens, the diversity in the classroom builds and the classroom environment is interesting. If we get into that groove that everybody should shine in the examination and other things are not relevant, the entire class atmosphere becomes dull and everybody will have one focus, and over a period of time, the interest level in the classroom dies down. So that is how we are able to maintain diversity.
In fact, initially I thought it might be difficult for these professional students to cope up with the existing syllabus and also simultaneously appear for their exams. But our students have in fact, proven me wrong or proven my apprehensions wrong. Because not only have they excelled in professional courses, they've also excelled in this course.
See, again, what happens is, like you told in the beginning, there is not much of a difference between the syllabus that is taught in the classroom and the syllabus that they find in, at least in the foundation and the intermediate level. I'm not telling it is equal, but it is proportional. So when it is proportional, generally what happens is, the foundation is done at the college level only. For them to go and take up these programs, it becomes very easy for them. So that is how they are able to do. You have Somshekhar, you have Vaishnavi, you have Chaitra, Anusha. They're all into professional programs and they're doing well.
Correct.
And I'm confident that these students, maybe in a couple of years from now, they will definitely be CS, CMA, CA for sure. And that's going to add to the college profile and it's going to benefit them also.
So in fact, why I brought this up is because some of the students might have some apprehension, like if I'm already into CA, CS or CMA, so wouldn't this be a hindrance for my professional studies? But I would like to clear here that that would definitely not be the case. In fact, Vaishnavi has shared that whatever she has studied for CS Inter or whatever she studied here helped her there or vice versa. Correct. So when that is the case, I'm sure it's the same with others as well.
True. See, and the kind of activities that we do with these students, generally year starts with a program where we take them outside for the first time. It's basically bringing all these students together. It will be to a place like a car museum or to a railway museum. Here one may ask, what's the whole point in going to a railway museum for a commerce student? It might not be related to commerce, but it brings everybody together. See, we are of the very strong belief that although the students are in first year, third year or fourth year going forward, they all are one unit for us. Syllabus wise, they might be studying different things, but when it comes to certain programs, all of them are at the same level. So this is where the team building starts. They think and act like one unit. The first year student gets to interact with the third or the fourth year student and the vice versa. So generally what happens is they work as one unit. We made them to interview 11 Mysore based first generation entrepreneurs and the group had all semester students. And they came out with 11 stories of 11 Mysore's first generation entrepreneurs. We brought out a book. So what happens now? They work as a team with people coming from different levels.
Correct.
Ideas gets exchanged and they do better. And if you also see, they were able to work on case studies on 5 different startups which are being incubated at STEP SJC. So there they got to see how exactly the startup works. All the extracurricular and the co-curricular activities that happens in the college or the skill development activities that happens in the college is done keeping in mind these outcomes. 1, bring everybody together. 2, create a platform where ideas are exchanged. 3, keep it practical. 4, the learning should be helpful for them to do well in the examination and also in future in their life. That's how the activities are done. That's why you often see a third year student interacting with a first year student or a first year student talking to a second year student. So this basically helps in better exchanging of ideas and better results.
So all along we have been talking about from the point of view of students, like why should they join or what is that this makes the course special. Imagine you are talking to a lecturer or a teacher or whoever it is. Why do you think they should be interested in teaching for this course?
Correct. See, I've been working in this institution from 2013 as a full-timer.
Okay.
So I've completed 12 years now, almost 12 years done. Yeah. I have never been told by the management to complete the syllabus in these many number of hours. That's the kind of space a teacher gets. You want 30 hours, 35 hours, 40 hours. The classrooms are or the class hours are given to you. At the end of the day, what is told to us, the clear instruction to us is there should be no compromise when it comes to academic delivery. Anybody who has a free will or interest, passion to do something are the people who should associate with our college. You get space, you get time, you get budget. And more importantly, when you fail, there is nobody to look down upon you, but there are a lot of people who will come and pat your back and tell, it's okay, you can do well next time. When that conducive environment is there, automatically you expect people to do well. And this gives me the courage and the confidence to invite people like Vishwas, people like Varun, people like say Abhishek or Alok or Shilpa or anybody to come and teach. Because I know they need not worry about the time or they need not worry about the results alone. They can express themselves in the class.
Yeah. In fact, I would like to add something here. If I had continued to teach only for CA or CS, I'm sure I wouldn't be able to sit at the highest level and design the syllabus and be part of board of studies or board of examination. Whereas here at MYCAS, I've got that opportunity.
Correct.
So when you initially asked me what are the takeaways, I didn't think of this, but now I'm thinking of this. This is a huge takeaway for me. So if not for MYCAS, I wouldn't have been part of this process.
I'll tell you one more thing, and I'm 100% sure you will agree with me. One of the biggest takeaways for us at personal level is we get to interact very closely with Professor Nagarajan.
Definitely, there is no doubt about
We have not been students of him in the classroom setup, but every time we get to meet the chairman of the program, there is something that we take home. That is one of the biggest takeaways for us. We have evolved as teachers. And every time we go, there is a task that is given to us. There is a challenge that is posed to us.
You wouldn't believe, I have thought many times, why should we go and sit in his class and learn certain things at least? So I never studied finance at that level. So whatever finance I have learned, that is through CA intermediate or CS course. So which is okay, but not at the highest level.
Correct.
So the kind of knowledge which Nagaraj sir has and the way he explains stuff, which our students also got to see a few days ago. So that is something which I wouldn't have been able to experience.
See, actually through this program, we got in touch with a professor of that stature.
Correct.
And we are able to learn certain things. And of course, we are able to pass it on to our students to a large extent possible.
Correct.
And that is something which we should be proud of and happy about.
Definitely.
As long as the foundation is strong, like they tell, if you know something about everything and everything about something, you still have the scope to do. So this program is something like that. You get to learn accounting, finance, tax, then laws, then you will also study entrepreneurship, research, economics, mathematics. What else do you want? You can either become a specialist, the choice is yours. You can either become a specialist or you can choose to be a generalist. The program helps you to be whatever you are. So that is what I want to tell the aspirants who have just cleared second PUC. Think about these things, come to us, let's have a session, understand more about this, get enrolled. We just have 40 seats. And if you ask me, the classrooms are also designed exactly for 40 students.
Correct.
It's not a big hall. It's not a very small room. Correct. Exactly designed for 40 students. Classroom is designed for 40. University license is for 40. And when the classroom is compact, the interaction and learning is also fast.
So that is one thing which I observed. So the number is around 25 to 30 in each class.
Correct.
So the interaction is on a one-on-one level.
Correct.
It's not like I'm addressing 50, 60 students.
Students can expect individual attention.
Correct.
We will be able to assess students' strength and weakness, interests, and their future plan because we get to meet them, see them, observe them in very close quarters.
Okay, thank you. Hopefully, more and more students take up BCom FM program. So it's not just the commerce students. I would be pleased to see more and more science students also. It's not just for PU commerce students. In fact, we have at least 2-3 students.
Every batch we have 2-3 science students who take up this program. And fortunately, they also do well. They do really well.
They do well, yes.
Because the analytical approach that they have helps them to do well.
It's not just that we have only commerce subjects. For example, financial management or financial decisions which are there, they have got nothing to do with commerce.
Exactly. It's pure mathematics.
Pure mathematics.
Pure basic mathematics.
Yes.
So I don't know whether I should be congratulating you, thanking you for being a part of this podcast. But it was
No, not just podcasts. I'm happy being part of the 3 years journey of FM program. So it has given me immense pleasure coming here for almost every semester and delivering lecture and interacting with the students more than anything else and interacting with the director Ramacharan and the management. So that's all for now.
We'll come with more updates and keep you all posted about the program and the success stories of the students. Thank you so much.